with the talk exploring digital ethics and public opinion on the display of human ancestors on YouTube. Hello, Vanessa. Can you share?
So, hello to all. Thank you for your presence. And before starting, I would like to thank the organization for the incredible work that you're putting into the BeFRAIL webinar series. It's just been amazing, even with bugs and happen with Zoom. So for those that don't know me, I'm a bioanthropologist. I'm affiliated with NCIS here in the United States. My latest research focused on the ethical considerations associated with the imagery of our ancestors' remains online and also through 3D digital models. Lately, I'm also expanding my research to deal more topics related to women in science. I'm also the content creator of BioN Talks, which is a YouTube channel. So, let's see. Okay. So in the digital age, technological advancements have made the visualization of human remains more accessible worldwide at the click of a button, particularly on social media platforms like YouTube, which is one of the largest search engines with 2.7 billion users. So sharing anthropological knowledge on social media has great educational potential, but videos can be created for non-educational purpose, including by non-specialists. This, in turn, raises ethical concerns regarding the sharing of image of human remains on public forums, including the exploitation of humans for entertainment, morbid and macabre fascination, financial gain, professional prestige, curiosity, and social manipulation or misinformation. However, few recommendations exist regarding the sharing of image of ancestors' remains on social media. This study analyzes how images of human remains are represented and discussed by specialists and the general public on YouTube. By evaluating visual and textual content, the research aims to understand how human skeletal remains are portrayed, discussed, and contextualized in digital spaces, as well as the ethical concerns surrounding their display. This study is still ongoing, and in this presentation, I will be talking about some of the preliminary results. To identify videos that talk about and display human remains, first, I clear the cookies on my laptop to prevent search results from being influenced by previous search queries on YouTube. I also did not sign into my YouTube account, again, to not influence search results. Additionally, my YouTube channel, BioN Talks, was excluded from the analysis to avoid bias. The first criterion for selecting videos displaying human remains was the use of specific keywords in the YouTube search bar. You can see the keywords I use on the slide. The filter features on YouTube search were not used. The second criterion was video recommendations based on the initial search results. Additionally, I examined channels to determine whether they had more content related to human remains besides the one that was initially shown on the first search that I did on YouTube. Then I conducted a 3-level analysis. Okay, visual imagery. Okay, I recorded if human remains are displayed in the video and thumbnails. I did a content analysis, such as whether the video was created by specialists, who are the individuals whose remains are showcased in the video, and the terminology used to refer to them. I also did a textual analysis. So basically, I analyzed the comments written by the viewers to provide an idea on public opinion on the study, display, and analysis of human remains. So far, I have identified 394 videos featuring human remains, or talking about human remains, but to date, I only have analyzed 7 of them. okay? And this totals around 3 hours and 30 minutes of footage and 350 comments. 3 of the videos are news reports, while the remaining 4 are documentaries. All of these videos were posted on YouTube recently, between 2018 and 2023. So these videos have been viewed around 837,000 times and receive around 10,500 likes from the public. The least viewed video has around 8,000 views and 259 likes, while the most viewed video has nearly 250,000 views, and the most liked one has 3,000 likes. Okay, YouTube does not provide exact like counts beyond 1,000. So he starts displaying rounded values like 1K. So the number of likes, the average, all the descriptive analysis done for likes, it's approximately. Okay, and although the sample size is small, I only analyzed 7 videos, they have gathered some level of viewership. While not among the most watched videos, they attract millions of views. They still demonstrate a substantial audience engagement. Okay, none of the 7 videos, whose titles are shown here, were created by specialists. And by specialists, I mean like human osteologists, medical doctors, anthropologists, forensic scientists, anatomists, or archaeologists. However, the majority of them, except for one, feature specialists in their videos. The only video without a specialist is a news interview with a business owner that has a degree in design that sells ancestral remains in New York. Most of the videos feature an image of human remains in the thumbnail, except for the documentary Cold Case, The Pursuit of Justice, which display the researchers instead. All the videos depict human remains, which some also included anatomical models, drawings, and CT scans. However, none of them provided a warning alerting viewers to the presence of human remains, nor did they have an age registration requiring sign-in to prevent minors from accessing the content. Most of the human remains featured in the videos belong to adults from an archaeological context, with the second most common being from a medical anatomical context. One video does not disclose the context of the human remain, so their chronology or where they, if it's from archaeological context or forensic context. And this is a news report about forensic anthropology. Only one individual was identified by name in a documentary. Regarding the language used, the terms used in the videos, I divided the terms used in the videos to refer to human remains into 4 groups. The first group includes terms that evoke humanity, such as individual, person, or person's name. However, there is ongoing debate about whether disclosing a person's name is appropriate, as it may raise privacy concerns for both the individual and their descendants. The second group consists of terms that reference biological and social identities, such as a person's nationality or occupation. The third group includes anatomical terms, which I have to put a note, depending on the context I'll use it, it can also contribute to dehumanized individuals. For example, saying the skeleton versus this person's skeleton. Lastly, the 4th group comprises terms that objectify people, such as pile of bones on a string, expensive item, wall of human spines or corpses, specimens, material. Most of the videos use some form of dehumanizing terms to refer to human remains. Regarding the comments made by viewers. I clustered the comments on the video into 9 major groups. Viewers received positive, negative, and morbid remarks. Some viewers expressed fascination with the topic, describing it as interesting, cool, fascinating. Negative responses ranges from boredom to discomfort, with the most common reaction being shock at seeing human remains being touched, as reflected in this comment. So you're telling me one day my bones could end in a classroom with children and teachers touching me? I'm in shock. Morbid comments tended to dehumanize human remains, often through joking remarks such as spooky scared skeletons, fertilizer, and freaky. Some of the comments made reference to historical events. So the viewers share other historical events that the video probably remind them of, and they wanted to share this information with other viewers and the content creator. Or it reminded them of their own experience, such as the one who wrote, "This guy would love the body farm at UT Knoxville. I worked there in undergrad." This comment was made to the news about the business that sells human remains. So, in another cluster, a few viewers made cinematic reference, such as, this reminds me of the series Bones, but mostly criticizing the frequent use of violent reenactment of what possibly happened to a group of Viking men. Okay, I'm going to give you some time to read this comment because it's a great comment about empathic reactions. Okay, so viewers also expressed empathy towards future individuals. They acknowledged their humanity, wishing them peace, and reflecting on the pain they may have endured due to illnesses. Some viewers related personally to the individuals, sharing that they have the same diseases as those portrayed. Additionally, face reconstruction requests were common when none were provided, possibly as a way to reinforce the individual's humanity or simply out of curiosity about how they may have looked in life. Viewers are divided in their opinions on the study and collection of this individual's remains. Some expressed support. They mentioned their willingness to donate their own bodies to science. Others, however, they criticized the practice, particularly due to the lack of consent from the individuals during their lifetime. Some advocated for using casts instead of actual human remains, including in museums exhibitions, with a few viewers advocating for their reburial. Viewers also discussed the social identities of the individuals displayed in the videos, with many claiming a genetic connection to the individuals, particularly to a group of Viking men who were decapitated in England. However, some comments expressed racist views, reflecting discrimination against minorities and marginalized groups, as well as misconceptions about race. Viewers also comment about the research findings, with some proposing alternative scenarios regarding the individual's identities or occupations. Others emphasize the need for further analysis, particularly DNA testing, as a means to resolve unanswered questions. Opinions on these specialists were dividing, ranging from praise to criticism, as seen on the slide. Although I'm only presenting preliminary results, they highlight important considerations for how we communicate our research to the public, as well as areas that may require greater focus and ethical reflection. One key issue is the need for a warning or age restriction at the beginning of videos containing images of human remains. This will allow viewers to make an informed decision before engaging with the content. Additionally, the use of such images should be carefully deliberated and restricted to educational purposes. This requires thoughtful consideration of how information is presented and when it is appropriate or not to include image of human remains. I strongly advise against using image of human remains in video thumbnails, as doing so can be considered human exploitation. This image offers no educational value and serves merely as a means to attract views, particularly in the context of YouTube, where high viewership can potentially translate into financial gain. Another point is the terminology used to refer to the individuals we study. There's a growing movement to adopt terms that acknowledge their humanity, using terms such as human ancestors, human, person, people, individuals. Therefore, we should start avoiding terms that dehumanize the individuals we study, like specimen, material, item, remains. So we need to bring a more humanistic perspective into our research, and it has to start with the terms we use. The 350 comments provide insight into key areas that may require greater focus in public outreach, such as ancestry and social race constructs, ancient DNA, and facial reconstruction. Views demonstrate a significant interest in these topics related to social identities. However, there are comments showing misinformation and discrimination. Okay, another point not mentioned in the videos or comments, but it came to mind when I was doing this presentation, because I think it's worth the center for discussion here in this forum, is the role of AI in facial reconstruction. We are increasingly seeing artificial videos created from all photos, depicting people moving, smiling, and expressing emotions. AI is also starting to be applied to facial reconstructions of ancestral remains and human remains from forensic context. And I won't be surprised if it will lead to the adding of movement and expressions to traditionally static images. This raises important considerations. On one hand, such technology could foster a connection to past communities, emphasizing their humanity. If raising costs, it may aid in identifying individuals. However, it also introduces new ethical concerns that it could serve as a tool for misinformation or manipulation of the reality. Typically, for past communities, there is no reliable way to determine individuals' true facial expressions, mannerisms, which are shaped by life experiences, personality, and cultural influences. Another issue to address is the need for explicit consent specifications for individuals donating their bodies to science, as consent forms should account for the use of AI in research. Like I said, it's just some food for thought. So, thank you.